Today I'm going to start shooting a video showing how I replaced the lower hullside planks on this boat. This is a 1955 22-foot Chris-Craft Continental, and I installed a new bottom on it, new double planked bottom, all new bottom frames, new lower transom bow, new chines, and all the knees that connect. Let me get a shot of it here. All the knees that connect the hull side frames with the bottom frames, those are all new. So the next step in this project is to install the 4 planks that make up the lower hull side. And the reason those had to come off, I'll take a shot of it over here. The reason they had to come off is because, well, first of all, the chines had to be replaced, and the lower transom bow had to be replaced, and then this plank here, this was on the port side, I believe, this was rotted, and he actually had a leak here. Right there, there's some rot. So they had to come off and in order to install the chines and replace all the bottom frames. So now it's time to put them back on, and that's what this video is going to be about. I'm going to show how to cut, fit, and install these 4 planks. Now this here, this was on the port side. This must have been an old repair. I doubt if Chris-Craft did that from the factory. So these are the 2 long planks that go from the transom forward, and then there's 2 more that go up to the stem. And the majority of those planks are varnished. And almost all of these planks have the bottom paint on it. So it's a good idea to replace these. Now this piece of wood isn't all that bad, but I don't know, to me, if you're going to go through and replace all the bottom, all the bottom frames and the chines, the piece of wood, the lower hull side plank all the way around it, that's a pretty important piece, because probably 2/3 or 3/4 of that piece is going to be underwater. So to me, it's kind of like the bottom. This is the perimeter around this boat. That's just a place for water to get in. So instead of using this old, worn out, kind of brittle wood, it's just better to put new wood in there. So that's what I'm going to do. I have enough stock to do it. Here are the 1/2-inch pieces here. So that's what the video will be about. But before I can cut and fit these pieces here, I need to address some of the surfaces. I'm going to talk about that for a minute. When this lower hull side plank was pulled off, I don't know what happened here. I think this is an old damaged area. Let me put this on. Because you can see this is cracked here. There's some wood that's missing, and then there's some 5200 in here. So I don't know if someone tried to get in there like with some kind of a saw or something, or just took a razor blade to try to open that seam up and put caulk in there. But something went on there, and when I pulled the plank, I really can't remember if I damaged this, but some of it looks like it was damaged in the past. But either way, it has to be addressed. So actually, the first thing I'm going to do is take down the edge of this bottom plank. The edge of this bottom plank is proud. Here, I'll take you on the other side because I haven't started planing that down yet. When I install this bottom plank, you install it so it's a little bit proud of the chine. So this surface has to be worked down to here, and then this existing hull side plank, this has to be prepared to receive the new one. As you can see, I started scraping right here. There's a lot of old, since the water line is right here, over the years when they painted it, a lot of that white paint, it wicked through between the planks because there was a gap there, and it caused this paint buildup on the edge of this, and it's kind of crusty and it's raised. And if you were to just try to fit a plank right on there, you wouldn't get, it wouldn't seat against there right. So all that's got to be cleaned. There's a little bit more of that 5200 someone put in here that has to get cleaned off. So I need to prepare this edge to receive the new plank. So I'm going to show how to do that. And this is new wood here. That's the new knee that connects the Hullside frame to the bottom frame. This is the original Hullside frame, and it is set under the surface a little bit. So I'm going to go through and address that. A lot of times when you pull these Hullside planks, they put screws into the battens and into the chine, and they also put them into frames, but the plank doesn't meet the frame flush. So when they drive those screws in, it bows it a little bit. So I remember when I installed these chines that I went through and adjusted the edges of these chines. And let me grab my ruler and I'll show you. These chines should be really close. That's the point I'm trying to make. They should be real close. Let me look up here. See that? They should be real close to when I put the piece of wood on there, it's going to seat against there real nice. So now if you look at this, there's going to be a void there. Now, that void's not huge, but it's bigger in a few other spots, and if I'm going to have to go through and glue wood in here, I'm just going to do it to everything that needs it instead of just pumping that full of caulk or 5200. So there's a couple of spots around the boat that I'm going to just glue wood. I'm going to use the epoxy as a glue and just glue a piece of wood in there. So when I put that plank on there, it's going to hit flush on all the surfaces, and there's not going to be a void in there for water to sit. So I'm going to go through and address that, and then I'm going to show you how to cut and fit and install those planks. I'm going to go grab a plank here real quick. This one here. Now there is a chine cap that goes on the other side of this. So this plank was installed like this, and then there's a chine cap that goes from the edge of this plank to my bottom there. And that's sitting right over here. And that goes something like that. But it's going to be easier to cut and fit that Hullside plank and then make the chine cap. So that's what the video will be about. It's about these 4 lower Hullside planks. And by the end of the video, you'll see how I address all the surfaces and get them ready. And then you'll see, I'll show you how to cut and fit those planks and install them on the boat. What kind of caulk I use, what I'll use between the new plank and this surface here. See, the whole thing with this is I'm going to have to install these planks and get them fared down to this surface. I can't touch this surface because as of now, maybe in the future the owner will refinish this Hullside, but as of right now I have to match all this. So I have to cut and fit a plank to butt right up against here. I have to fare it down to this, and then I have to stain it. So I'll tell you what I use in between these planks and what kind of bedding or caulk I use to install them. So that's just an overview of what's going to be on this video. It's going to be these lower Hullside planks. So I'll stop the camera and I'll get set up, okay?